All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been solving literal equations. So I wanted to give you a couple of practice examples here. All right, so let's look at number one. See here, we're trying to solve for y, and over here we have our y, and so we know we want to keep that in place, okay? But we want to get everything else away from that. So, easiest thing to do here is we have a positive ax here, so we want to remove that by subtracting ax. Whatever you do on one side has to be done on the other, right? So that gets rid of that here, and that leaves us with a by is equal to negative ax plus c. Okay, so now here we have a by, which is also known as b times y. So we want to get that by, we want to get the y by itself. And so since that is multiplication, we have to divide to get the b off of there. So we want to divide, which is the inverse of multiplication or the opposite. Whatever we do on one side has to be done on the other. So once we get rid of our b there, that leaves us with y is equal to negative ax plus c all over b. These are not like terms here, none of these. Ax, b, and c, those can't be combined in any way. They're not like terms, and so that leaves us with our final answer. Okay, let's look at number 4. So we're down here now. All right, so again, we're looking to solve for y. Means we want to get everything else off of that side and onto the other side. And so we have a positive 9x here. So we want to get rid of that by doing the opposite, which is adding a 9x. Again, what you do on one side has to be done on the other. Plus 9x. That cancels. That leaves us with a negative 3y is equal to 9x plus 6. You could have also wrote that as 6 plus 9x, same thing. Okay. Now we have a negative 3 on that y. We want to get rid of that. That's multiplication, so we have to divide by negative 3. Divide by negative 3. That gets rid of that. Whatever you do on one side has to be done on the other. Now, a note here. We could just do that, right? But would we remember to simplify if we don't break it up? So what we've been teaching you is, let's erase that, is to put it under each term. So divided by negative 3 there, divided by negative 3 there. Bring down our y. Okay. And so 9 divided by a negative 3 is going to be negative 3. Bring down our variable, negative 3x. Okay, and a 6 divided by the negative 3 is a negative 2. And there's our answer. All right, let's skip down to number 9. All right, so we have E equals mc squared. We want to get this m here by itself. And so I think sometimes you guys get confused when we throw exponents into things. But this is the same thing as m multiplied by a c squared. So we want to get that c squared off of that m. It's still going to be division because that's multiplication then. So let's draw lines here. So we want to divide this entire thing here by c squared. Divide that by c squared. Guys, and it's really that simple. Once we do that, that cancels out, which gives us our m, which we're going for here, by itself. And you have e over c squared. So sometimes things look harder than they are when they're really not that hard at all. We did one thing there, which was divide by c squared. All right, I'm going to show you two more here. Again, these are going to be short videos just to kind of show you how to study, show you the processes, and you should be able to do all the other ones once you see these few examples. All right, so let's look at 13, okay? Again, fractions tend to throw you guys off, and so we're looking at this 1/3 BH. We're trying to get H by itself, okay? Remember, we told you, and you know what, I'll rewrite this. This is the same thing as 1BH over 3, right? And so we know if we want to get H by itself, or 1BH by itself, we can multiply to do the opposite of the divide by 3. Okay, and so let's do that. Multiply by 3. That cancels. Whatever you do on one side, again, it has to be done on the other. We don't necessarily need that 1 because it's the same thing as BH. 1BH is BH. And so we have BH is equal to 3V. Okay, now we want to get the H by itself. B times H, that's multiplication. So we want to divide by B in order to get B off of there. Have to do the same thing on the other side. And that leaves us with our answer, folks. 3V over B equals H. All right, and let's look at the last one. I want to look at number 14 because we have a little a here and a capital A. Those are two different variables, so we can't combine those. Those aren't going to be like terms. All right, so let's go through this one. We want to solve for C, right? So we're going to get that C by itself. All right, how do we do that? First thing we want to do is we want to get that 3 off the bottom and deal with just our A plus B plus C. So that cancels out. Whatever we do on one side has to be done on the other. So that's multiplied by 3. Bring it down, and that leaves us with A plus B plus C is equal to 3A. All right. So we want to, again, get C by itself. So let's go ahead and get rid of that positive A by subtracting it off of there. Oh, guess what, guys? Look, I did something wrong here. And it's a very good point because let's go back here. Look here. I didn't make that a capital A. That would have been a huge mistake here because these aren't like terms. So let's make that a capital A. All right. So going back, we're subtracting this A off of this side. So that means we have to do the same thing on this side. So we are subtracting A, lowercase a. So that leaves us with 3A minus A is equal to B plus C. Okay. And our last step is to get that B off of there. So let's do that. We have a positive B. So we're going to subtract B. Going to do the same thing on this side. That is going to leave us with our answers, ladies and gentlemen. So that's 3a minus a minus b equal to c. Okay. And let me talk you through that, since it was kind of confusing, since I had to go back and make that capital A. All right, so the first thing we did was we multiplied by 3 to get the 3 off the bottom there. Okay, whatever you do on one side has to be done on the other, so we also multiplied 3 on this side. All right, that left us with 3 with a capital A is equal to A plus B plus C. All right, then we took away our little a by subtracting. Did the same thing on this side. That left us with 3a subtracted by a is equal to b plus c. We wanted to get the c by itself, so we took away a b from the positive b there, took away b from this side, and that left us with our answer of 3 capital A minus lowercase a minus b equals c. Alright guys, that should be enough to help you study. Feel free to go back, play, rewind, and play again. Study away.